Narcissists and their effect on autistics. When you grow up and you get bullied in school because you're different, and you spend the majority of your life being misunderstood by others and not having other people who are like-minded or neurodivergent like yourself, you start to feel very alone, and you have poor boundaries because as an autistic person, as a person with autism, an autistic, you grow up being very unheard, and you want to try your hardest to connect with people on a personal level, and that is the most difficult thing in the world. You start to develop a lack of ability to maintain strong boundaries, and even resort to people pleasing. And people pleasing isn't just doing things for others to make them feel good, or trying to make everyone happy. It's, and you've probably heard this a million times, but it's like you agree with everything someone says. You don't overstep. You don't stand up for yourself in any way, shape, or form. And you become quite codependent on that feedback that you get from your attempts at pleasing the other person, whether that's parents, brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, relationship partners. What this looks like on the outside is somebody who's gradually, bit by bit, becoming more and more what feels like broken, and more codependent. And I don't think it's talked about enough that autistics are definitely vulnerable people when it comes to narcissistic abuse in all forms. So I'll give you a bit of my story. I grew up surrounded by a fair few narcissists in my immediate sector of my family. And without giving too much away, because my family will watch this video, these people were some close family members. And that's hard to share. The thing about narcissists and empaths, not autism, because autism you're born with. That's just luck of the draw. But empathy and narcissism come from the same root, which is inattentive family members, inattentive parents, absent parents, abusive parents. And it can be something as simple as just not having an emotional connection with your parents. The empath and the narcissist both grow from that same root. It's a decision they make. Hey, I'm going to take this out on the world and completely disregard myself and who I am, or I'm going to start treating the world better because I don't want anyone to feel that way, and I'm going to better myself in the process. That's the two forks in the road. It's a huge misconception to say that autistic people with autism don't have empathy. They surely do. I'd say a big percentage of autistics have are strong, but it appears on the outside that they don't have much empathy because they find it hard to express in every single way, and that's empathetically, intellectually, in a neurotypical way. So the narcissist, the empath grow, they go into their adolescent years, they become teenagers. When they go to school, when you're empathetic, you'll meet other people who are empathetic. You'll meet other people who, fall on both sides of the spectrums. And you'll come across other autistics and you won't even notice because you're too busy trying to fit in, and I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Well, the narcissist will see the empath. For me, in school, I got bullied by a guy, and he was in the same year level as me, and he used to beat me up. He used to kick me in the nuts really hard, straight in the balls. Weekly, I'd say, bi-weekly. He used to punch me, abuse me verbally, and say he was going to kill my mum. And I love my mum a lot, and he'd say things like that. This is where my deep-seated trauma and issues came from regarding that narcissist empath dynamic, that narcissists have something that my puzzle piece fits into, because they might be what I'm lacking, or I might be what they're lacking. And those two pieces fit together somehow, but it's disturbing how they fit together. And a lot of this I've healed, but there's a long way to go, and I need a lot of therapy to heal from my narcissistic abuse. But this bully used to beat me up, pick on me, gaslight me, say he was gonna kill my family, if just all sorts of horrible, heinous things that I shouldn't be talking about it too much. But after that, it was really easy for me to become a target to other abusers. And abuse doesn't have to be physical. It can be verbal. It can be gaslighting. Gaslighting is a horrific thing, because it makes you question, am I crazy? Did that really happen? And especially if you've got a brain that can't conceptualize things as easy as neurotypical people, those gaslighting tactics and stuff can really damage a person, and they should feel horrible for what they've done to us. If you're watching this video and you're a victim of narcissistic abuse, or a survivor of narcissistic abuse, whatever you want to say, I like to say I'm a victim of it. I don't like to play the victim, and I never do in other regards, but this was something that really victimized me and made me feel like nothing. That grew over time I became suicidal, and I wanted to end my life because it was too hard to face the music of, I need to get out of this situation the hard way. So fast forward a few years, I met another guy. So during that time, there was a guy that was growing up alongside me that displayed traits of narcissism, and I just didn't know at the time. And this other guy, when I was 17 going on 18 through to my 19th birthday roundabouts, there was a narcissist who I did drugs with, and while I was on drugs, he would pretty much fuck with me and make me feel like my reality isn't real. And that was really a scary time. Fast forward again. I'm just going to skip to the now. Just recently, at the start of the year, probably the second month of the year, maybe early February 2022, I had enough. I did some research. I found that the best way to cut a narcissist off, and it's sad, but it's a surefire way for it to work, and that is block everyone. Block absolutely everyone who's in contact with that narcissist, no matter who. Doesn't matter how close you think you are. Whether you know it or not, that narcissist has been talking shit behind your back, and they have been gaslighting those mutual friends and smearing your name all over the place to get as many people against you as they possibly can. You need to remove everyone. And sure, that you'd be able to keep some people around. I wasn't able to, because I didn't have one friend who wasn't connected to these people that I'm talking about. There was not just one. I had to get rid of some people who I considered my best friends because I knew that they'd side with them, not me. And just to be safe, I cut everyone off. I'm not going to upload this video right away because I don't want people to see this just yet, because I'm in a vulnerable place. And I want to leave my comments open. I've disabled comments on all my YouTube videos on the Kale Anderson Topic account, the Fretlek account, the Sure Sugar account, the Scorpico Records account. I've disabled comments because I don't want anyone reaching out to me for a while until I've got therapy and I'm healed to a certain degree. I like that idea. But going back to the autistic empath, it doesn't even have to be an empath. It can be just an autistic who has something about them that I don't know what it is, but that person wants that. And I'm not saying that all autistics will get sucked into the narcissistic abuse that is so prevalent in the world. It's very prevalent. But they're more likely to than neurotypical people who aren't empaths. That's 100% sure. I think time will heal you. It's been 2 months, close to 3 months, of me getting rid of everyone, and I'm starting fresh. I'm going to go to support groups for autism and ADHD, and I want to get a network happening. I want to see a psychologist, a therapist, and a doctor, my GP, and then I'm going to go to some support groups for autism, some group meetings, and make some new friends. And that's how I'm going to start my next journey, because that last journey's over and I'm not looking back. I'm not revisiting my past with narcissists. When I see them down the street, I'm just going to tell them how it is, which is a simple no. Not interested. That's all I'm going to say, not interested. And just walk off. If they punch me in the face because of that, that's good, fine. I'll turn the other cheek. These people have been so cut off from themselves, their internal well, that they destroy others. And I've seen narcissists online talk about, like, they play the victim when they're hurting so many people. We can't help but hurt people. You can't disregard us. You can't cut us off because we're human too. But the thing is, you're not the victim if you're a narcissist. That's as simple as it is. You abused people, and it makes me sick. If you're currently dealing with this situation, You'll be okay. You will learn more about yourself as you disconnect from some of these things. And I'm not saying you have to entirely cut yourself off from everyone like the path I took. I just chose to do that because it was best for me. And I knew what I had to do. And in the last 2 months of me cutting them off, I feel better than ever. I'm not even suicidal at all. Whereas before I was contemplating suicide pretty much every day, and I'd do an all-nighter, and that would cause me to become more manic and depressed. I've realized that a lot of the shit that I was dealing with came down to people and things that I was surrounding myself with. So I love you a lot, and if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing. This is Cale Anderson Exploring Autism, and like the video to get it around to as many people as possible. Comment, share your thoughts, don't hate, be blessed, and the world is your oyster, so eat it. And if you don't like oysters, don't eat it, but own it and win. See ya.